Hi, my name is Elias Canaris and welcome to this episode of Leadership to a T. My guest today is Nick Hindson, the owner and director and inventor of a great board game called Market Share. Well, Nick, welcome to this episode. I'm just so pleased to have the opportunity to spend a bit of time with you this morning.
It's fantastic to be here, and thank you for inviting me, Elias. It's a real privilege.
My honour. Nick, I met you probably about maybe 3 or 4, maybe actually 4 years ago. Is it?
Oh, no, it's 5 years.
5 years. Where's the time flying?
It's been a while.
It has indeed. But Nick, we met originally, I think it was at church. I happened to be in the guest lounge when you and your wife Karen came through.
First people I met.
Wow. So you're still talking to me after all this time?
Yeah.
Now, you're a guy that I've really got to know and admire over the years. In fact, you are the designer, the inventor and the director of a board game called Market Share. In a moment, right. I'll ask you to explain a little bit about Market Share so our audience can understand a little bit more about the program and what it does.
Great.
But it was such an influential program when I saw it myself that I knew I had to invest in Market Share. So please explain to me a little bit about what Market Share is and how the idea came to you.
Okay, so Market Share originated out of a real desire to help entrepreneurs like myself. I had launched out into my own business when I was 23 years old, found myself 5 years later in a whole heap of mess, in a world of pain, and realized, having read Michael Gerber's book, The E-Myth, that I was missing a lot of understanding knowledge around management and entrepreneurship. And while I was a great technician, I really lacked a lot of skill and experience around running a business. And so I wanted to provide a resource that would help entrepreneurs looking to launch out there for the first time, something that would actually give them some insight around how to set up a business, how to run a business, who's involved in the business, what sort of resources they'd need, how to manage their finances. And so this became the opportunity to put all of that, wrap it up in one game and make it a fun way of learning those types of skills. And so it's been a great journey over the last 5 years, putting all that together, developing it, going out and talking to our suppliers, the people involved, our stakeholders, the organisations that support the game financially, who are game partners with us and sponsors of the spaces on the game. And so we've had a great opportunity to go out there, do that, and then take that game into colleges, high schools, universities, businesses, and share that knowledge, that learning, and that experience with a lot of young people. So it's been great.
So who would you say is your primary target audience?
Well, it's a little bit diverse in some ways, because ideally we created the game for that person who wanted to go and set up their business for the first time, who wasn't inclined to go to night school or go back to college and learn about business, but needed just a little bit of insight and maybe a little bit of encouragement. What we found, though, when we took it into the schools, is the business teachers and the economics teachers were astounded at the level of engagement they experienced with their students. And so from that perspective, it became a really great teaching tool, a great way of having the students have a whole lot of fun while they're learning some great concepts and practicing some really important skills and connecting with those brands that appear in the game.
So think about this. If you are sitting there as somebody wanting to start up a business, you've obviously had that pain of learning through the hard ways and then developing a very substantial and I say iconic board game that was available here in the New Zealand market just a year or so ago. Last 2 years.
Yeah.
So you can go to the warehouse, you can buy it off the shelf. It's amazing. I found it amazing to see my own business branded on the box. So it's incredible for me. But what have you learned in this experience of developing your own business, and where do you think it's helped you to grow as an individual?
Well, it's been a learning experience. No doubt about that. I tell you, it's been one of the most difficult things I've undertaken. However, been one of the most rewarding, and it still rewards me today with the opportunity to share into young people's lives, the opportunity to see people flourish, to think about business, to be inspired, And if there were three things that I've learned, it's really important to have a purpose behind your business, to understand why you do what you do. And I think that's the first place to start. And we were lucky in the early days. I was coached through that and found that we had a very significant purpose to grow, to help grow the economy through business education, to help entrepreneurs build better businesses, and to increase the financial literacy of our next generation. Yes. And so that drives everything we do within our organisation, and if we're not achieving one of those things, we don't get involved in it. So the purpose was number one for us.
Yes.
Secondly was planning and making sure we had a really solid plan. Now, the best laid plans of mice and men can sometimes come unstuck, and we have had times where our strategies haven't worked out, so we've learned some incredible lessons from those opportunities. However, planning, I believe, is really, really important. And the third thing would be the people, finding the right people, surrounding yourself with the right people, engaging the right team, and having the right support people around you.
Fantastic. Three really good points. I'm going to come back to those in a minute. You talked first of all about having a purpose, having your why, understanding your why. I believe it was you, Nick, that originally guided me to an exceptional video on TED.com from Simon Sinek, The Golden Circle.
That's right.
Can you again explain, why is having your why clearly defined so important?
For me, I watched that video, and in that coaching session I mentioned a moment ago, my coach showed me that video. And it was towards maybe 3/4 of the way through that video that I realized why I was doing what I did. And it brought tears to my eyes because I was so passionate about becoming an entrepreneur, and I'd hit so many different milestones and so many different roadblocks. And I knew that there was something in me driving me to do this. And I wanted to make a difference for those entrepreneurs like me who had that burning ambition to become someone, to become somebody, and to be that person.
So can I then ask you, because you mentioned about your coach who guided you to that video, and it got you literally to tears when you bought into it. Now, I'm an executive coach, a professional speaker as well as a trainer. But I just want to look at the coaching component, because I think that coaching is probably one of the most underrated components for a business owner.
Sure.
Why have you chosen to go down a path to engage with your own personal coach?
A coach actually not only comes alongside you and trains and supports you, they hold you accountable. And for me, I find that having someone who is giving me a bit of a jolt in the right direction, giving me some great advice and support, when I'm reporting back to that person and I know they're going to be asking me, have I achieved those goals and those milestones that I've committed to, it gets me, I think it just gets me to that next step. It's like going to the gym. You go to a gym by yourself, you do 10 reps. You go to the gym with a friend and they spot you, you get to the end of your 10 reps and they go, come on, you can do another one. You can do another one. And you end up, they push you a little bit further and you just go that little extra distance. And for a lot of people, I believe they need that. And so that's why coaching, I think, works for so many people.
Look, that's a great answer. I really appreciate it. I'm about to draw this short interview to its conclusion, Nick, but I was just, as I said before, so impressed with the board game. I saw it in its prototype. We sat around the dining room table playing this. I remember it a number of different houses here on the shore in Auckland.
That's right.
As I say, I bought into the concept. I bought into the board game. Now, if people want to find out more about how to connect with you and how to connect with Market Share, how do people find out more about Market Share and connecting with you?
Anyone can go to our website at www.marketsharegame.com.
So it's www.marketsharegame.com. That's fantastic. I really love that. So folks, here we've had a great time with Nick. It's been incredible. 3 things, 3 P's. Look at your purpose, understand your planning, and surround yourself with great people. 3 really good pieces of advice that as you look at liberating your sales potential, I'm going to encourage you to take these action items and think about them from the concept of your own business. That's it from me. Have a great day.